So where are we really at in the adoption of warehouse robotics? We're going to find out right now in this highly relevant article from a magazine called CFO Dive that CFOs get. So here we go. Mobile robots, machines that can move around on their own using sensors and algorithms, are gaining popularity, with the market's annual revenues projected to surpass $14 billion by 2027, up from $4.5 billion last year in 2023. So that is a 3x increase in industry sales in 4 years. That, my friends, is a very rapid growth rate, which I can personally attest to. There's not many things that are growing at 3x in 4 years. By 2027, so folks, this is 3 years from now, 75% of companies will have adopted some form of cyber physical technology, such as mobile robots, within their warehouse operations, Gartner predicted last year in 2023. So that's 75% market penetration. I don't think that's entirely right. We'll talk about something in the article in a minute, and then I'll comment on it. So there's a survey company called Interact Analysis that does studies and surveys. And this guy named Sharma at Interact Analysis expects 200,000 mobile robots to be sold this year. That's 2024, up 25% from 2023. Again, folks, most companies would kill for a 25% increase in sales in a year. In 2027, the number of mobile robots sold is expected to reach 700,000 a year. That's a huge number. Sharma went on to say this is still a relatively emerging technology if you compare it to, say, industrial robot arms that are deployed in pretty much every factory around the world. So I said a second ago, I'll make a comment, and this is the best time to make it. Number one, industrial robot arms are mostly still only in big companies, some medium-sized companies, very few small manufacturing operations still. Why? Because I have worked in those for a number of years now, and there was no adoption of industrial robot arms in these companies yet. You'll see why. But the second thing is that it will take quite a while for small manufacturers to adopt robotics because of the cost, and that's what this whole article is about. The upward trend in mobile robot sales is occurring as the overall warehouse automation market is struggling. So that's other kinds of automation, not robotics, like the conveyors and ramps they make to move packages. Interact Analysis' latest research found that nearly 6 out of 10 companies are already using some form of mobile automation in their facilities. And again, that's all the large, basically, and a number of the mediums, but very few small companies. Larger companies, and here's the point, larger companies with revenues over $1 billion were more likely to use mobile robots than smaller ones. Most respondents said they had only partially automated their workflows with mobile robots, and that's 71% of respondents said they had done that, which is a huge percentage, but only $1 billion or more in revenue, which is big companies only. Mobile robots deliver a number of benefits by taking some of the most labor-intensive warehouse jobs, like stacking and unstacking pallets, for example. These range from moving pallets, carts, or totes full of goods to assisting human co-workers with pick-and-put operations. Increasingly scarce labor resources can be shifted to higher value jobs. Implementation of such machines can boost worker satisfaction while also reducing injuries and turnover rates, the report said. My comment is this is an interim phase. Yes, clearly, cobots work with humans. That's most of what's being installed right now. And worker satisfaction goes up significantly with these cobots because they don't have to bust their butt all day anymore. But again, this is an interim phase, and it's where robots are in capability right now. In a little while, they will be way more capable, and they won't need the people. Competition in the market is heating up with a 25% per year growth rate. You bet. They mention a Chinese startup called Hi Robotics, HAI, a provider of mobile robots, Ontario, Canada-based ClearPath Robotics, and then, of course, they mention Amazon, which is all in on robotics. Last October, Amazon announced a plan to begin testing a two-legged robot dubbed Digit for use in its warehouse operations. The robot was developed by Corvallis, Oregon-based Agility Robotics, one of the companies Amazon invested in through its $1 billion Industrial Innovation Fund as part of a decades-long push to invest in next-generation technologies that will benefit its operations. $1 billion is a darn good startup fund, folks. That puts Amazon in the top tier. Companies that invest in mobile robots may need to wait 2 to 3 years on average to see a return on investment because of the cost. So what does that mean for non-financial folks? It means that I buy something for $500,000 and it takes 2 to 3 years of cost savings to get that $500,000 back. That is not an unreasonable ROI. How do I know that? I've been a CFO. So that is not a bad ROI. However, it's not sufficient for all companies, but most companies are going to be okay with that. Sharma says, for some companies, that's not quick enough. For a large retailer like Amazon, adoption is a necessity, he said. So let's summarize this. As I mentioned, the mobile robotics market for warehouse operations is exploding. This means it's going to very rapidly penetrate the rest of warehouses. And as the quantity increases of the number of units sold a year from 200,000 to 700,000 in only 3 more years, these robots will get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and then even the small companies will get them, the small warehouse and manufacturing companies. And again, we're talking about physical goods or retailers here, people that deal with physical stuff. So this market is going to continue to explode. And Amazon, by the way, there was a separate video online from NBC News saying Agility Robotics that Amazon is working with will have the potential to pump out 10,000 robots a year, just them. And there's all these other competitors, and the Chinese, of course, are way ahead. So what am I saying? Rapid continued adoption of warehouse robots, number 1. Number 2, as production scales, they will get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. 3, when they get cheap enough and capable enough, even the mid-size and small companies will start adoption. Number 4, as the robots really get capable enough, we'll move from this interim cobot phase that we're in right now to a fully automated no people phase in warehouse operations. That is definitely going to happen by the end of this decade. How do I know? Because I've worked in warehouses for a long time now. So I know all this stuff firsthand. That's why I can say these things based on quite a few years of experience now. Again, just like the last video, what does this mean? It means get a job that requires the human touch, where a human must be involved. What are those? Plumber, electrician, counseling, nursing, home health aide. There's tons of stuff at all pay levels that will be difficult to automate and pay decent money. So do yourself a favor and make the change now. Don't wait until you lose your job from automation. That's not a good strategy. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, please support us on Patreon. Really need your financial support. Your financial support, $2 a month or $5 a month, will add up with, as people do that, to allow us to do some really amazing things to prepare you for the tsunami we're now in. We've passed the inflection point. Everything is saying that. We passed the inflection point with AI. Unbelievable change is going to happen every single year now from here on out, and you will not see it coming. You won't. Why? Because humans are exceptionally poor at understanding exponential technology. So thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time. Take care. Bye.